Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will be learning about master theorem.
Know what is master theorem? Like, have you read it before, or like, I can't buy that you haven't read it before, but like, have you worked on it? Like, have you ever found it? Okay, got it. Yeah, most of you have at least read it before. Cool. So basically, in master theorem, there is one kind of algorithm that is called divide and conquer algorithm, and in this divide and conquer algorithm, we basically divide a particular large set of problem into the subsets and then try to find out the solution in the smaller subset, and then we combine the answers to get the answer on the top level. Like, let's say in this it's 1 2 3 and 4. It's just like find the smallest, so it's a 1 2 and there it will be 3 and 4. So smallest between 1 and 2 will be, like, it's easy to compare. So 1 and 2 ka smallest will be 1, and 2 3 and 4 ka smallest will be 3, and then when it will get combined to this, the output will be 1 and 3 ka smallest, that will be 1. So now अब क्या हो गया, like you are not comparing one with every, like 1 with every index, 2 with every index, 3 with every index, 4 with every index. What you are trying to do, आप इसको, like, you are dividing the algorithm, dividing the task into subtasks, and then you are finding the optimal value that you need to find, maximum or minimum, in this particular entire smaller subtask, so that your complexity becomes lower. Also, better way is, like, this task and this task can be parallelly executed. When I say parallelly executed, you can very easily like, I think you guys will have parallel computing or distributed systems as one of the core subjects, like this semester or next semester. I'm not sure, but that will be the subject that will help you to know how the parallel computing works. So divide and conquer algorithm is the base of the parallel computings as well. So once you, like, last semester you would have read about divide and conquer, or this semester you are learning about divide and conquer, just read it very carefully, because this is a base of your next subject. Like, entire next 3 or 4 credit subject will be there based on this particular divide and conquer. Okay, so, like, just this is a basic understanding of what are the divide and conquer algorithms. Now, what is master theorem? So in this particular algorithm, it's very difficult to find the complexity, because the complexity of this entire solution is dependent upon the complexity of taken by this and taken by this, and then the complexity of this is entirely dependent on complexity of this and the complexity of this. So it becomes like, the complexity, like the time complexity of some statement is dependent upon the time complexity of some smaller subset. This belongs to, like, when I say this data belongs to the smaller subset, because you currently also we are dividing, right? And this is the complexity that is required. Fn is the complexity that is required to find between a very singular unit. Like, if there is anything that is required to divide, like any complexity that is required for dividing in particular algorithm, that will be counted as Fn. Okay, so just think, like, just treat this algorithm as your base algorithm for all the master algorithm. So what, when I try to say this, like, if you are able to break your recursive problem into this kind of structure, right, then it is helpful to use divide and conquer. Oh, sorry, master theorem. Okay, so now this is just a basic, like, what we call a relation. How would the relation of the recurrence should look like to use master theorem. Now generally you need to use the master theorem, so there should be some formula to the master theorem, right? So how you need to, like, when I say remember, don't muggle it, just take these cases. Like, I will explain you everything. Please raise your hand in case of you are not able to understand. Like, once I complete the entire topic, and I will explain you again if you require, each line by line. The reason why I'm saying this, don't muggle it up, is that I don't want you guys to remember it, and when you are going in front of the examiner, or let's say in terms of vivas in your college, or to, let's say, an interviewer, you write all this and then you say, okay, this is how I will be doing this problem. But this problem can be done in a very much easier way. Priyanshu, I will take the questions in the end, like of this topic. At least let me first cover all the cases and then I will take it up. So there is first case. Okay, now let's just, I will treat this algorithm here. Please see this algorithm couple of times, so that it becomes very renowned to you, that okay, we are using this algorithm. A is the variable over here, B is the variable over here. Just treat it as in this way. Now the first case is when fn, that is function of n, is sometimes around like the function of n's complexity is of this case, right? Then and also in this case the very important type is where c is less than log of b of a. Everything is mathematical over here. There is nothing like, again, you will find the proof of this master theorem in your books. Just read it through. It is the basic mathematical theorem that you can even look for. So I will just explain you in a bit. So in this case, what happens? The time complexity becomes the time complexity of n, and again the time complexity of n is this time complexity will be theta of n log ba. Fine. This is first. The second is when fn is big O of nc, where c is equals to log of ba, then tn will be theta of nc log n. And the last case will be fn where omega is nc and c is greater than log of b and a, then t of n becomes very frequently theta of fn. Because again, this complexity, when this is the nc complexity, right, fn is nc complexity, then it does not make sense to take anything from here. Like, the majority of the complexity will be driven by this function. Okay, now let's just take one example and then let's understand it, okay, in a much better form. I hope it's visible now. Cool. Let's take it over here and let's take one example. So one example is tn equal to 3tn by 2 plus function of n is on. Anybody wants to try, like, I have it besides, anybody wants to try what will be the complexity of this, can try and type the answer. I will take the, yeah, please try it. It will be helpful for you guys only, and then I will help you to derive this expression from any divide and conquer algorithm. That will be the second part of it, and the first part, let's derive this. Values a equal to 3, b equal to 2, and here c will be 1, okay, because n is to power 1. Now when we go to this use case, right, fn like case 1, and c is like 1 is less than log b is 2, and then a is 3. Again we know log of 2 of base 2 is 1. So definitely the log of 3 base 2 will be higher than 1. Okay, so this condition will hold true and we will lie under case 1. Okay, and then case 1, the answer that comes out to is theta n log of b is like again 2 and 3. So this is the answer that is there. Okay, at least look. Are you able to see this question? Like this is what I was talking about when I was telling, right, ki let's do a problem driven master algorithm rather than just having a master algorithm of this sort of, like where you have t and something like that and you are able to find it out. Let's do a back reverse engineering. Like this is the problem statement that you will be given and now you need to find out the master theorem of it. First, just think about this question. I want everybody to come up at least with the brute force of this. This is given, just to be on the same page, like this is some mistake of the pen, but this is given. The question. So if I tell you the input is this. Sorry. I will explain it. So basically what this problem statement says, you need to find the subarray that has the maximum sum. Okay, so how you will find in brute force approaches, like in this array find a subarray which has the maximum sum, and the only condition is the number should be contiguous. Okay, that means it needs to be regular, like there shouldn't be interval between it or there is a number that is being dropped onto it. So if you see this problem statement, right, the problem, if you see, you will first find, okay, -2 is not greater, -2 plus 1 is not, like it will be -1, then you will add -3, like you will do all the permutation, like it will be either it will be 1 element array, 2 element permutation, 3 element permutation, 4 element permutation. You will just do the order and you will see what will be the answer of this. Okay, so just I am telling you the answer. The answer will be 4 minus 1, 2 and 1, which has the largest number, that will be largest sum, that will be 6. Okay, so now this is the question. How this will be solved in the entire world or in the algorithmic world is, we will first break this question into sub parts. So when I say sub parts, it will be in this form. Let's take another shorter array out of it. I don't want to like block you guys for too much mathematics. This is a shorter array. Okay, first I will break it into 2 parts, 2, 1, and then I will break it into 3 parts, 2 parts. I will find, so what I need to do, right, I need to find sum of this, that is -1, sum of this, that is 1, and then the sum of, so I would have 3 sums. One is this one, I would have this one, and the sum of both the individual values, that will be 0, and the maximum out of it is this -3 and 4. Okay, this is like one suitable level of answer that is I am getting. But when I go a dig deeper, right, when I dig deeper into this, I will be able to get the another set of answer here. That will be, because the final answer is not the one that I told you. The final answer will be this and then this, Okay, I divided this algorithm into basic minute element or the sub problems, because it says sub array, and sub array can be at least one element, so last element can be there. So the sum of this and this is 1, this and this, the maximum sum between these is 4. Okay, now when I see, okay, this there is a element that is like the max sum that is coming to me is 4. Now I will go a level up. In this algorithm I will see, okay, if I combine these two cases like -3 and 4, what will be my maximum sum? The maximum sum will be 4 again, because -1 will be the sum, but that won't be maximum out of it. And when I combine this, again the maximum sum will be 4 only, because the -1 will be coming here, 1 will be coming over here. And then I will combine all the array, like I will take the entire array, then also I will have the sum that will be maximum will be 4. So my answer will be this, out of this array that I created or sub created in a shorter format. Okay, now let's see how you will find the algorithm or complexity of it. So now T of n becomes, let's keep it in T of n by 2. Why? Because we are creating the sub array into two parts, plus like dividing of these two array is on again, or in this case so you can even say it's O of 1, because we are not doing anything, we are just going low, that is low plus high divided by 2. We are just doing this, we are not doing anything out of it. So like this and like entire element 0 and 4, so 0 and 4 divided 0 plus 4 divided by 2, we broke at it at the element 2. Then we found, okay, 0 and 1, the division will be 1. We broke it here and we broke it over here. So we didn't even do like any mathematics to do it. So this will be the algorithm, and now we will find out the complexity of it. The complexity will be, now again going back to our classic set of formula. So this algorithm is A will become 1, B will become 2, and Fn will become O of 1. Okay, so n becomes, so this will be n ki power 0. Okay, so C will be 0 now. From that I get C will be 0. Okay, so if you see right now, your solution will lie in form of the case 2. Why? Because C is 0, that will be log of B to the power 1, and this comes when the the value of n is 0 in this particular case. So this will be the case that will be there. So the complexity will be theta of nc, and the C is 0, so theta of 1. I think I missed something, because it shouldn't be theta of nc. Oh, so sorry, so theta of nc, the complexity will be theta of nc log n, and the theta of nc is 1, so now it will be log n. And you can just check, this is the classic divide and conquer algorithm, and the complexity comes out to be big O of n for this. Also, this is a classic example of, again in this we haven't used binary search, but binary search also you can find it out. Again, I will stop it over here.
For today, I am thanks a lot for joining in. Please like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you.